In our modern world, some individuals dedicate their lives to ancient traditions. They seek to understand the spiritual needs of people. Sheikh Ben Halima Abdurrauf is one such person. He is known to many as a practitioner of Ruqya. This is a form of spiritual healing within the Islamic tradition. It involves reciting verses from the Quran and making supplications to God. Sheikh Ben Halima was born in Algeria in 1967. From a young age, he showed a deep interest in religious studies. This early passion would guide his entire life and become the foundation of his future work. Many people seek him out for help with problems they feel are spiritual in nature. His journey was not just about personal faith. It was a path toward helping others in a very specific way. He wanted to use his knowledge to bring comfort and relief to those who were suffering. Sheikh Ben Halima believed that many illnesses had a spiritual component. These problems could not always be solved by modern medicine alone. He saw a gap in how people were being cared for. He felt that the soul needed healing just as much as the body. This belief became the central pillar of his life's mission. He dedicated himself to mastering the practice of Ruqya to serve his community. His approach was rooted in deep study and understanding. He did not simply recite words without meaning. Instead, he immersed himself in the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah, which are the practices of the Prophet Muhammad. He learned how to apply these sacred texts to real-life problems. His work involved dealing with issues like seer, or sorcery, and black magic, jinn possession, and the evil eye. These are concepts that have been part of human belief for centuries. Sheikh Ben Halima sought to address them with compassion, knowledge, and faith, offering a bridge between ancient spiritual practices and contemporary life. This dedication made him a well-known figure. People from different backgrounds learned about his work. They saw him as a source of hope when other methods had failed. His reputation grew not through grand pronouncements, but through the quiet, consistent work of helping individuals. He became more than just a scholar. He was a healer. His story is one of a man who looked at the world's suffering and chose to respond with the tools of his faith. He believed that spiritual peace was essential for a healthy and balanced life, and he spent his years trying to help others find it. Sheikh Ben Halima's journey into the world of Ruqya was a gradual and intensive process. It began with a strong foundation in Islamic sciences. He did not limit his studies to his home country. He traveled to seek knowledge from different scholars and institutions. This pursuit of learning took him to various places, where he absorbed different perspectives on theology and Islamic jurisprudence. His education was not just about memorizing texts. It was about understanding the deeper meanings behind them. He learned how to interpret the Quran and the Hadith in a way that could be practically applied to help people with their spiritual ailments. This rigorous study gave his practice a level of authority and trust. A key part of his teaching was to make Ruqya accessible and understandable. He worked hard to demystify the practice. He explained that it was not a magical act, but a form of prayer and reliance on God. He taught that the power did not come from the healer, but from the words of the Quran and the sincerity of the supplication. This was an important distinction. It helped to remove fear and superstition surrounding the topic. He wanted people to feel empowered, not dependent. He often shared his knowledge through lectures, books, and online videos, ensuring that his teachings could reach a wide audience. His method was systematic and educational. When people came to him for help, he would often teach them how to perform Ruqya on themselves. This was a revolutionary idea for many. He believed that every Muslim could and should learn to seek protection and healing directly from God. He developed a detailed program that included specific Quranic verses to recite, supplications to make, and other actions like using blessed water or oil. He provided clear instructions so that individuals and families could continue the healing process at home. This approach fostered independence and strengthened a person's individual connection with their faith. Beyond just the practice of recitation, Sheikh Ben Halima emphasized the importance of a righteous lifestyle. He taught that true spiritual protection comes from living a life that is pleasing to God. This meant fulfilling one's religious duties like prayer and charity. It also meant avoiding sin and maintaining good character. He explained that a person's actions could either strengthen or weaken their spiritual defenses. Therefore, his healing was holistic. It was not just about treating a symptom, it was about guiding the person toward a more spiritually conscious and protected way of living. This comprehensive approach was a hallmark of his work. The influence of Sheikh Ben Halima Abderraouf was not confined to one city or country. Through the power of modern technology, his message traveled across the globe. He embraced the internet as a tool for education and outreach. He created a website and a YouTube channel where he shared his lectures and practical demonstrations of Ruqya. These resources became incredibly popular, attracting millions of views from people in Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa. He presented his teachings in multiple languages, including Arabic, French, and English, to ensure his message could be understood by a diverse international audience. This digital presence allowed him to help people he would never meet in person. His impact can be seen in the countless personal stories shared by those he helped. Many people have written testimonials or created videos describing their experiences. They speak of finding relief from chronic problems that had troubled them for years. These stories often describe a journey from despair to hope. People felt heard and understood, often for the first time, when discussing their spiritual afflictions. His compassionate and non-judgmental approach created a safe space for them to seek help. This personal impact, multiplied by thousands of individuals, created a strong and loyal community of followers who respected his work deeply. Sheikh Ben Halima also trained other practitioners, creating a network of healers who follow his methods. He did not want his knowledge to disappear with him. He established centers and organized training sessions to pass on his understanding of Ruqya. He taught his students to be responsible, knowledgeable, and compassionate. He stressed the importance of staying true to the authentic sources of Islam and avoiding practices based on superstition or commercial gain. This effort to educate others ensured that his legacy would continue through the work of his students, who now serve their own communities around the world. The work he did also had a significant impact on how Ruqya is perceived. In some places, the practice had been associated with charlatans or extreme interpretations. Sheikh Ben Halima worked to present a more balanced and authentic version, grounded in scholarly tradition. He brought a sense of professionalism and methodology to the field. By openly discussing the subject and providing clear, evidence-based guidance from Islamic texts, he helped to legitimize the practice in the eyes of many. He showed that it could be a valid and important part of a person's spiritual and healthcare journey, complementing other forms of treatment. Today, Sheikh Ben Halima Abderraouf is remembered primarily as a dedicated teacher and a compassionate healer. His most important legacy is the knowledge he shared so freely. He believed that education was the key to empowerment. By teaching people how to perform Ruqya for themselves, he gave them a tool for life. He shifted the focus from dependency on a healer to a direct relationship with God. This message of self-reliance and personal spiritual responsibility continues to resonate with many. People respect him not just for the healing he performed, but for the knowledge he imparted, which allowed them to become active participants in their own spiritual well-being. His positive message was one of hope and perseverance. He often dealt with people who were in great distress, feeling hopeless and abandoned. His calm and confident demeanor, rooted in his faith, provided immense comfort. He taught that no matter how difficult a situation seemed, there was always hope through prayer and trust in God. He encouraged people to be patient and consistent in their efforts. This message of resilience in the face of adversity is a powerful lesson that extends beyond the specific context of Ruqya. It is a universal message of faith overcoming despair, which is why so many found his teachings to be profoundly uplifting. The respect he earned comes from his integrity and sincerity. He dedicated his life to serving others, often without seeking personal gain. His focus was always on helping people and spreading correct knowledge based on the Quran and Sunnah. He was careful to warn against fraud and exploitation in the field of spiritual healing. This commitment to ethical practice earned him the trust of his community and followers worldwide. People saw him as an authentic guide who was genuinely concerned for their welfare. This sincerity is a quality that people continue to admire and remember him for. In summary, Sheikh Ben Halima Abderraouf's life was one of purpose and service. He identified a deep human need for spiritual healing and dedicated himself to meeting that need with knowledge, compassion, and faith. He modernized the accessibility of an ancient practice, using technology to spread a message of hope and empowerment across the world. He is remembered as a pioneering figure who brought clarity and methodology to the practice of Ruqya. His legacy lives on through his extensive written and recorded teachings, the students he trained, and the countless individuals he guided toward a path of spiritual healing and a stronger connection with their faith.